Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie. This is a series of frugal thoughts. I just gave a huge yawn and I had to restart it 3 times. If I yawn again, I might just let it go. I was going to talk today about like a Amazon Prime Day recap and talk about that whole concept of Amazon Prime, which is pretty interesting. But in doing so, I Googled Amazon and the first thing that came up was this article that I wanted to then discuss something about. It's apparently the word it's about the word frupidity, Frupidity, and it's a combination of frugality when it is mixed with stupidity. So I guess you would say it's stupid levels of frugality. So it says, apparently frugality, which is interesting, is one of Amazon's 16 leadership principles. And this frupidity comes when the principle of frugality is applied without an eye towards value, and in practice is implemented as do not spend money. It is easy and perhaps lazy to try to look frugal by saying no to most or all expenses. So then my question for you is the following. Have you ever done anything or not done things in the name of being frugal that you were perhaps actually being frupid? Sorry, that's a tough word to say. Frugally stupid, I could say, although we don't say stupid in this house. Anyway, I think that for me, I will speak for myself, that my husband and I are both not great about putting, well, I'm going to include myself in that, but I don't think it's really necessarily the area that I need, in not being willing to put money towards maintaining items within the home before they completely break down, and then it becomes a crisis, whether it be third floor plumbing, whether it be ovens, whatever, dishwashers, whatever, not kind of maintaining pieces of equipment and our lawn and things like that. Once, this is just off the top of my head, one time I remember we paid, I think, $200 to have some pachysandra planted, and neither my husband nor I ever watered the pachysandra for the next. We had it put in June, and we never watered it, and we just relied on the rain. And by the end of August, it was all died out, and we had ruined it all because we were not. It wasn't, well, that's maybe not a good example of frugal though, because frupidity, because we weren't doing it not to be frugal. We were just doing it because we were busy with other things and not putting a priority on maintaining that. So maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I think the 2 examples that would come to my head would, number 1, be not maintaining things within the home, and 2, not doing things, taking trips and or doing things with family or friends, although I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure it has happened, doing things in order to save money. I think especially as you grow older, you are very conscious of the fact that your time is more limited on this earth, and that you need to be able to spend time, which sometimes means spending money, in order to spend time with your loved ones. My kids and I recently took a trip to California and to Yosemite, which is someplace that I had never been, and I wanted to make sure that my kids, it's kind of like a bucket list kind of thing. So that we did in a, I believe, frugal way. Some people may disagree with that, but it was important for me to have that experience. So not having that experience, in my opinion, would have been frupid. But I guess my question for you is, have you ever done anything that, I guess we all have, or are there examples that you can think of in your own life of frupidity? I think it's something that there's a fine balance between being frugal and being ridiculous. I think that there are extreme cheapskates, and there's people who don't have a good look, in my opinion, on what's important in life, and might make the wrong decisions when it comes to how to spend their money. Again, everyone has to make their own value judgments as to how to spend their money. So I guess the question is, for you, what things that have you done that might be frupid? I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's a dozen, and if I can think about it, maybe that's what we should do. Is if you have done something, make a list, start adding it in the comment section, and then when I think more things, I think I mentioned the Pachysandra that we never had. We had it planted in June, and then we didn't water it. It wasn't necessarily, we weren't necessarily trying to be, this was 20 years ago, we weren't necessarily trying to be frugal. We were just busy with our children and didn't keep up with that job. So maybe that's an example. Maybe that's not a good example. The example that the article had given about was an employee who apparently had driven his car from Los Angeles to San Francisco, which is about 5 hours, in order to attend an employee event. I do think that, I don't know if it was because he or she could have attended virtually over Zoom, or whether or not it was not the most frugal way to travel between Los Angeles and San Francisco. The article didn't really say. But anyway, this is an interesting, being frugally to an extent, overly frugal in order to save money. I would say that for me also, perhaps the other thing that I've done is, and I've spoken about this, is buying things at 90% off with the idea that this will be something that I will use, and that in the future, and 95% of the time I have done that. However, there is 5% of the time where I don't, and then I'm stuck with too many cans of sunscreen that have expired. I very much feel as if we had this discussion this summer, because I ended up getting rid of some of the expired sunscreen, for example. But I remember that particular example. If you bought 3 sunscreens, you got a $5 Target card, and each sunscreen was $1.39 on sale. So I think I paid $4.20 and got a $5. So that sunscreen essentially came free to me. Still, it's arguably wasteful to throw out sunscreen. So anyway, I'm going off a little bit here, so I want to get back on track. If you have ever done this, please let me know. Put it in the comments below. Thanks. Bye-bye.